Hey healers, welcome. Welcome back to my channel. This is Sarada Muladhara, the rootchakragoddess. Hi guys. Sunshine says hi. So today we're talking about a combination of things. So because if you guys saw my video, The Truth About Reiki, I get into some of the reasons why I channeled my own style of Reiki as opposed to practicing the Reiki that I had been initiated into. And my style of Reiki is heaven on earth Reiki. It's a self-initiating style. So you call upon your ancient ancestors, your starseed lineage to come through and initiate you. So the reason why I felt the need to channel my own style of Reiki was because of the curse of spiritual slavery. So that's what we're going to get into today. So if you're here, welcome. Welcome back. If you're returning, drop your city, drop your zodiac sign, and let's get into it. Yay. She said, "Thank you for leading me to where I need to be. My life has changed. I'm so glad." I came up with this framework out of necessity for myself. I share because that is my nature. Gemini style. We got a Houston Gemini in the house. I'm a Gemini in New Orleans. Geminis are known to have the gift of gab, and if you break down my astrological chart, all my placements are Gemini, Scorpio, and Capricorn, and that is talking about sex, death, the occult, rebirth for work. Boom, boom, boom. Pretty simple. It's pretty simple. I think the reason why a lot of us get so into the zodiac and like looking at our chart and things like that is because we get the chance to identify key aspects of ourselves that we get validation for when maybe those aspects had been shunned otherwise. So one of the things that I've been exploring this year since I developed my course Root Lock, and it's so crazy, like how the way Root Lock has changed my life. It is so freaking crazy. And so to be at the end of the first year of Root Lock and break the curse of spiritual slavery, which I didn't even really have full consciousness of what I was dealing with. And uh, it's a huge responsibility to be in my position to provide spiritual services and spiritual guidance to so many people in spiritual education. And I do not take it lightly at all. I do not take it lightly at all. So you guys have seen me transform. It's like we've been on a journey together. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I love being so hands-on and interactive. But yes, I am a real person. I'm not just like an internet like AI. I'm not an AI. I'm a real person. I'm a real person. My apartment is really a mess. My life is like crazy. I'm like dealing with so many of the effects of these curses that we break, and it's like overwhelming sometimes because my God, I mean, this is real life. What we're seeing, it's so surreal because we're just seeing everything play out in front of our eyes, and it's like every single thing that I've ever tried to grip onto for some semblance of sanity has just unraveled itself at a moment in time. And I feel like people don't understand why I preach self sufficiency so much, but I literally, literally, how else are you going to survive when you're in a moment in time when you don't have anybody else? What are you going to do? We know this. We know this. What are you going to do? So, but I think now is coming the time where we know we can handle it alone, but what about in community with other people? Um, so one of the major things that has been coming up a lot for me this year is as far as being a spiritually gifted person being considered weird or crazy, and people knowing that I was different and treating me different. And um, now coming through where I've come through the first year of Root Lock, I started to like dig into that, like knowing that, oh, this has been suppressed in my lineage because um, it wasn't safe to look at it. But now here I am putting it on full display and then telling other people that it's okay to do the same. And honestly, it's like sometimes I'm kind of like, okay, I had this message of like, hey, everybody, this is for everybody. Spiritual work is for everybody. You're spiritually gifted. Yeah, you're spiritually gifted, but spiritual work is not for everybody. But I train spiritual warriors, so whether you do it professionally for the public or just within your own family, like it matters. It matters. So yeah, girl. So we got a Virgo in Canton, we got a Leo in Austin, Aquarius moon, and a Libra rising. Yay! We got the air signs up in here. We got the mercurial vibes. We have earth and fire. Just the right balance. I just am pulling like a few different cards because basically, so like we're on a wealth building journey. This is the point of this conversation. I'm speaking to people that are like generally in the profession of helping or caregiving or spiritual sex work, whatever it is that you do, where you like provide a safe space for other people. So one of the things that's associated with poverty, caregiving is associated with poverty. You got your donut, girl? You got your donut, mama? Yeah, you got your donut, girl. Caregiving is associated with poverty. So we know this, right? Because wealthy people will have other people caregive their children. So what does interdependency look like outside of capitalism? I think we have to really take a strong look at human behavior and psychology when we're going to have these conversations, because you can't really, like, you have to be realistic, not disingenuous when we're talking about slavery, which I think the way that people think about slavery is so one dimensional that it's kind of hard to even have these conversations, because it's been like, glorified by Hollywood. It's been put into a textbook definition in history books that has very specific applications. So like there's also like it's like hard for people to, okay, so I find that um let's see, let's get on the same page. Within the framework of the United States, the way that slavery is applied as a concept is to like apply it to basically a certain moment in time, a certain specific racial group, and they do that specifically to try to colonize everybody's minds and make us believe that a certain reality is true, a certain version of reality is true. But I want us to be able to open up space for more different versions of reality to be true, so that we can tune in more, because I feel that like when you overly focus on history and historical timelines of this happened when and this was this, and when it's like you weren't there, you really don't know, and it kind of closes down the conversation for other people's viewpoints and input to say that, like, oh well, I go on an astral journey and I can see it for myself. But if somebody's always imposing upon you their version of history and their version of what happened, then that diminishes your ability to see it for yourself and experience it and know for yourself. And it is by design. So, for example, children are not supposed to learn how to read at a really young age. They're supposed to be at least 8 years old before they start learning to read, because they'll learn to read naturally on their own. But if they're forced at an early age to read, and then it's not good for them to be reading at that time because they're in a more fluid state of mind. They're more intuitive, they're more in the dream world. So to force them reading on them, and then if they're not good at it, that enforces low confidence and low self-esteem. And if they are good at it, then they're exploited. Because usually if you're really good at reading and writing from a young age, you've already been doing that in your past life, and you probably come from a lineage that is the norm. And not every lineage is like that, but when all the lineages are bundled together in a certain school system here, and they're all applied the same tactics of learning that don't necessarily apply to them and how they learn or who they are, then everyone's designed to conform, and it's by design to place people in the caste system where they belong. So, um, when I say that the entire society is built on a framework of slavery, it is at every level, and even going to the doctor, going to medical professionals, you're consenting to providing valuable information about your bloodline and your DNA to those medical professionals when you go. If anytime you get your blood drawn, anytime they run any type of tests, even if you're just telling, doing like an intake or a checkup or a therapy appointment, a psychological assessment, I personally do not trust or believe in any of it. I don't use it for myself. And I know that that is an extremely unpopular viewpoint. And I feel like I have a good reason to have that viewpoint if you look at what it actually is. All right. So let me get some water. I need to get some water. If anybody needs to get some water, let's settle in because it's an intense conversation. All right. I've been slightly procrastinating for this conversation since yesterday. Like I have so much resistance to it. Because the curse that I broke this year of spiritual slavery is honestly it's an ongoing curse. And the thing about breaking these curses that like is that it's pretty much impossible. It's pretty much impossible. So thank you. She said, I'm so used to seeing you with cats, dogs. Motherhood looks good on you. Thank you. Oh, she said, I'm so used to seeing you with cats, dog. Motherhood looks good on you. Thank you. But oh my God, it's so much work. I am like exhausted. Help. I need help. So I forgot that yesterday we have our day that we go for a long walk and we go to the training class. But honestly, she's wearing me out and I'm not that confident in my ability to train her, which is like it's just not who I am. Like I don't take things enough seriously and I'm not mean enough, but then I have to look at my balance of like what I need. So today I just like literally just put her in her crate and took off because that's what I needed. But I need her to just know how to be good on her own. Um, but what I'm dealing with is basically like being a pushover, being like essentially like, oh my God, I don't want to say it, but like literally like letting people walk on me, like being a doormat. And I can't even believe it when I look at myself. I'm like, how could you let this happen? Like, how could you let this happen? But this is literally just like the common like the common way of being, and it's like frustrating me so much seeing literally a genocide taking place. Hey girl, hey. My sunshine is just like, whatever girl, let's hang. And to see how we're constantly controlled by things that are outside of our control. Our attentions is constantly pulled in different directions, and the reason why this affects our relationships so deeply is because under slavery it's not advantageous for us to have strong relationships because strong relationships is what frees us. Love is what frees us. And I'm really like gonna cut this short today because I really don't feel good. My heart is hurting. Honestly, it is hurting. But if you guys want to like watch my video, The Truth About Reiki, where I starts to talk about it this. But right now I really can't go much more deeper into the curse of spiritual slavery. I need everyone to just do our own self work over the next day, and this is what this class is going to be. She said, "They said I get it. My heart is hurting too. You're not alone." Like this is sometimes it's just what it is. Like we'll show up, we'll do what we can do, and that's all that it is. We'll just do what we can do. It hurts. Everything, my body hurts, and then I have responsibilities. And then I have to look at all the different extra responsibilities that I've taken on without even needing to, because I just didn't know any other way to be. Like I had to feel like I was important in some way to do something for other people. But what about me? I could never even do what I needed to do for me. A friend of mine passed away yesterday, and I'm like, perspective, we're still here. Life is precious. You are precious. I just want to like throw myself on the ground and throw a fit. I don't know if this is high blood pressure or low blood pressure or what this is. I think I have healer's fatigue. I have compassion fatigue. Um, I'm just gonna get more comfortable. I'm gonna take off my shoes off. Like since living in my house, I honestly have not been able to like get comfortable here completely. Like I always want to move. I'm always on the run. Yesterday, I was noticing myself, and I was like, seeing myself start to leave my house and just thinking like, wow, I can't sit still, and it scares me to sit still. I don't feel comfortable, and it's almost like I don't want to feel comfortable, and it's just like too being comfortable is just too uncomfortable. And it all ties into like what this curse of spiritual slavery is. So I'm just gonna keep talking it through. I'm probably gonna get in my bed, and this is why I set my business up the way I did, um, so that I could have a business that I could work from home in my bed if I needed to. Come on, sunshine. Come on, girl. Oh yeah, I know she's about to come. She want to get in this bed. Oh my gosh. So this is how I'm able to break these curses with my work. Come on, girl. Come on, girly girl. Come on. Get your donut. Get your donut, girl. Got the donut. She got the donut. Okay, you guys, I'm here. So yes, your puppy loves bugging on you. She does. She is being like she was really stressing me out yesterday and today, so I just left her when I went out. Yeah, honestly, so I know that a lot of people have been feeling really sick this past week. Of people I've been hearing about interstitial cystitis flare ups and other chronic illness flare ups. What about you guys? How have you been feeling? Have you been hearing this too? So everybody in here pretty much is a heaven on earth healer. Oh, so you guys, so we're gonna have a get together soon on 11/11. So I'm really excited. It's so crazy because I began to really get to I really began to get to start to break this curse in 2 years ago in 2021. Yeah, it was about 2021. Drained as fucking easily emotional. I've been feeling like shit the past week. It broke through over the past 2 days. Thank goddess. Headache, even though I don't have headaches usually. I've been having really bad headaches on either side of my head for the past couple weeks. I've been crying almost every day a lot. Today it took me a minute, but then I got there. I'm gonna get in the bed with the puppy. Move. But I need my okay, girl. I need my thing. Yeah. I am honestly so freaking drained. I've been so tired and I just have been letting myself rest. Like I've been waking up and not feeling like getting out of bed, which ever since I got hurt, I've been trying to be good about um like ooh, oops. Oh my god. It fell. Hold on. Sunshine. Alright. Okay, you guys. I'm in bed. Alright, so let's chat. This is better, much better. I feel much more comfortable. This is how I get to do my work. I'm in my clothes. I don't care. Like, I'm just so comfy right now. I have to be comfy. This is why I created the business that I created. This right here is exactly why I created the business that I created, because sometimes I'm not going to be able to show up any other kind of way. And I do like showing up live with you guys. There's something to it that is just like really intimate. It's like we're having a summer party. All right. So my dog is here. She's playing with her donut. Move. Move, sunshine. Move. Move, crazy girl. She's so funny. Gosh, sunshine. Oh my god. I've been having deep womb aches. Deep womb aches. My hips are like completely recalibrating, and I'm starting to like drop my masculine shield more, because it's like basically there's like all these different layers of masculine armor that I have over my inner core, my inner feminine core. Sunshine girl. Oh god. So I feel the armor as like basically like an encasing over different layers of the energy body. So basically, what we're dealing with it when it comes to the curse of spiritual slavery and the way that it is perpetuated through traditions of Reiki and lineages, spiritual healing lineages, is that it's typically okay. So because it's a generational curse, it's found in the bloodline. So what we're dealing with, there's basically lineages of martyrdom and self-sacrifice. um and it may be the case where it's just like, say it's the firstborn, like in this lineage, every generation the firstborn is sacrificed so that the lineage has prosperity. So that would be something to where every time there's a new generation, the firstborn would be sacrificed. And it may look like it's just a miscarriage, or that it's like, something else happened. But if you look at it, you see that it's a pattern, and then it occurs generation to generation, and it occurs like across, like across different people in the family, then it could be a generational curse, or like a pact, or an agreement with a certain deity. And you may not really be aware of the agreements that you have going on, because these are agreements that were developed before you were ever born. So you were born into them. So basically, when you're born into these curses, you don't have the ability to consent. You would have to go back in time and revoke your consent. So that you would do that in a session, like, you and we would do this together in root lock. So the basis of root lock is teaching you how to do all the things that are going to be able to help you deal with these generational curses yourself. Because when it comes to breaking a generational curse, like, you're not necessarily going to easily have someone else do it for you. And a lot of people will get in their spiritual ego and think that they're going to do that for you, and they're going to break a curse off of you. And that's great. But everybody's not willing to take that burden on themselves, because it could come with an undue burden. And the amount of money that you might have to invest in order to truly break that curse, if you don't know the basic principles of your behind the scenes actions, you might be wasting your time and wasting your money if you're just paying for something that's going to get messed up again, because you're retaining the same mindset. It really requires a total vibrational reality shift. And a lot of times that comes with confronting things that make you really, really uncomfortable. And usually people will reject the person that like brings that to their attention, more so than like rejecting the fact that this is an issue in the first place. Like, okay, I'm gonna like actually look at this and make it not my issue anymore. But a lot of times what ends up happening is it's the person that's the problem. What, girl? She's chasing her tail. Oh my god, you got sunshine. Got the donut? You gonna get the tail? This is so cute. I've never seen her do this before. Come here, little cutie girl. No, no biting. No. No. Go back to chasing your tail, girl. We're gonna fight. Sunshine, no. Oh my god. Sunshine, no. What are you doing? Sunshine, stop it. Leave it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. What is your problem, girl? Sunshine, no. Leave it. She's like not trying to let me do this video. Ow. Sunshine. Hold on. Come. Girl. Sunshine, I'm the alpha. Sunshine. Sunshine, I'm the alpha. No. Girl, I will choke you. No. Sunshine, be good girl. Be good girl, mama. Be a good girl. She is crazy. She is being so. She is pissing me off. I swear to God. She will not chill. She has no fucking chill and she keeps biting me. I'm literally ready to quit. I'm literally ready to quit being a dog mom, I swear. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because she is freaking crazy. Stop it. No. 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 Fucking psycho. She's a fucking psycho. She is huge. Right, I'm about to put her in her fucking crate. Sunshine, no. She ran away and now she's back. Bitch, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking fight you. Sunshine, no. Sunshine, no. Sunshine. Girl, get down. No. Sunshine, no. No. Get down. Get down, Sunshine. No. No. She is. Ugh. I will fucking fight you, Sunshine. Get down. Get your ass out of here. Girl, you little annoying. You are something else, Sunshine. Oh my God. She is worse. Get Sunshine, come. Get in there. Get in there, girl. Who is you fighting? No. What? Let go. Go, Sunshine. All right, I'm back. I seriously don't know what to do. She's such a pain in my ass. She's such a fucking pain in my ass. I swear to God. Like, I love her, but what the fuck? And I know it's my fault. I took on too much responsibility, anyways. I don't know what I was thinking. A little timeout never hurts. She'll calm down. Oh my God, thank you. Put her ass outside. I honestly, I, I am like just now coming back to Earth. So everything that I'm talking about, I'm literally living the effects of it. Like I've been under all these different spells and curses and like giving my life force energy away and not knowing it and just generally not even being here, like not even like inhabiting my body and like not even inhabiting my life. I've been living to serve other people and I didn't even know it and I didn't know how much I was giving myself away. Um I didn't know how dependent I was on other people and like how other people viewed me. And just like needing to have certain attention and certain and I realized that when I got her, like I felt the need to be needed. Like I really felt the need to be needed. Puppies need a lot of stimulation. It's a lot. Mine calmed down around age 3. Like I really was like, damn. So I've been exploring the concept of being a narcissist, and it totally plays into the concept of spiritual slavery because narcissism, I hate how people speak about it as though it's like just this isolated occurrence. It's literally like a very understandable, normal response to neglect. So I realized that like I was like, this is another manifestation of like my narcissistic tendencies when I got my dog because I'm like, I have a need to be needed. I want to be important and I don't want to be alone and I want something to care about. And I got it, but it's just a lot. And a lot of times I think to myself, why do I do all the different things that I do? And I feel like a lot of it is just because I want to be needed. Like I need to be needed. And I think that's like a natural response as a feminine energy centered being, but I feel like the reason why it's like that need that I have to be needed, it like goes to waste because it has been exploited, and so it doesn't have enough healthy fulfillment, enough healthy expression of its fulfillment. Does that make sense? If you guys are here and you feeling this and you loving the puppy love, hit that like button. That really helps my channel. It's not easy. Like sometimes showing up and delivering these messages is really hard. I don't feel like I'm on a single pointed focus. I feel like my energy is a little bit split apart. I feel that energy is a little chaotic and unstable. And I don't mind because I feel that this is a really fertile place to manifest from, even though it can be scary. But I'm just giving myself the time and the space to like figure it out and let it become whole. Let myself come into wholeness and into union with myself. So one of the side effects of spiritual slavery is not being able to like enjoy a really healthy, fruitful relationship, or having like a lot of challenges with that when it comes to intimate relationships. Because generally there's contracts and there's curses that have to do with keeping you single so that you'll only have like all your attention will be focused on whoever you're doing your spiritual work for. Because when you're going to be, if you're like in an intimate relationship, you're a bulk of your attention and your energy is going to be focused on that person. So if say you were in an ancient time where a princess had you doing spiritual work for her, then she would want you to be all to herself, and she would, if you start to fall in love with somebody and start to use your magic for them, that she wouldn't like that. So she probably like, that is one potential origin point of these curses. But there's so many more. A lot of these curses come from people's own family members, and that's why like um that's another reason why it's often more advantageous for you as a spiritual worker to like let someone break their own curses versus you breaking them, because it's potentially their own family members that are putting those curses on them in order to protect, possibly keep things private, and just generally like keep that person in the spiritual bondage with them. Because again, like when it comes to the conversations about slavery, like slavery is ongoing, it's happening all the time. Parents enslave their own children and sell their own children for money. So we know that it is a pervasive societal feature. Slavery is a feature of society because people need money and they have children, and children are a form of wealth, and they've been bought and sold throughout all of time, and all of royalty is adhering to those concepts. So even royalty are slaves. And when you start to break it down, it's like, well, who's not a slave? Who gets to really do what they want? We're not exactly sure, you know. I'm looking for that for myself. I'm looking for sovereignty. The spiritual attacks that I've experienced this year have been really hard, and the isolation that I felt is what made it harder. And it's a lot to do with the persecution complex, the spiritual persecution complex. Because this society is like, one of the cornerstones of the society is the worship of Jesus Christ as a martyr. Christianity is a religion that glorifies child sacrifice. And we're all like generally encouraged to be Christ-like and sacrifice ourselves. How do I feel about cutting ties with family to retain my peace? Is that a curse in itself? I think so. Because the only reason why you have to do that is because it's a curse. Because a strong family grows stronger together. And so, like, for example, say like a family has a daughter, they invest in that daughter. So a lot of times it's commonly thought that a daughter is like not worth having because she'll go and she'll be wealth for somebody else's family. But the daughter, you like, it's the reason why we have to cut ties with our family sometimes is because they can only see us in capitalistic terms. And so if you're not looked at as high value within your family, where they could get a good dowry payment for you, or they would have some type of benefit of trading you with another family, um, you know, or you would have to make yourself useful within the family in some kind of other way. So, what ends up happening in some families is that if the daughter like stays within the family and doesn't leave, it's usually because there's no men in the family. There's not enough men in the family, so the daughter stays to do the work of men in the family. um but then the daughter is less likely to um bring her own lineage through. So that would be a curse in the form of like it's kind of like it's kind of a curse on the daughter, but the family doesn't see that as a curse on them too. Some mothers are not supposed to be mothers. They should not have become mothers. They only did it because it's just what people do, and that's really sad. So that's going to be a major shift that happens with our generation, is that like people that don't want to be parents are just not going to parent. But there's a lot of people that do want to be parents that don't see a way for it to happen, and a lot of that is because, again, of the curse of spiritual slavery, because people do not want to bring children into this world just for them to be slaves. And that's the issue that's being experienced with a lot of people and their parents, is like the reason why the cutoff, the reason why the lack of a relationship or the negativity in the relationship is because these generations only know submission to the state and spiritual slavery. So they sacrifice themselves and they sacrifice their children, and they are agents of the state, and they'll operate that way in their children's lives. So like they would be the type of person to like turn in their child to the cops for a crime, or like set a boundary that's like, where you can only be part of our family if you're on psychiatric medications. Or they would encourage surgery. They would encourage interference in the individual's life through mainstream medical technology or governmental programs, and they would maybe even withhold their love and affection or inclusion if those standards weren't met. So they operate as agents of the state in the lives of their loved ones, and only people that are okay with that can be comfortable in that environment. hmm And a lot of the curse comes from how it affects your like ability to have a relationship with your family and the coming generations. Because a lot of the enforcing that's going on would enforce you towards not having children, not having like your own life in any kind of way, but just generally like staying stuck in the status quo of like it's a particular caste arrangement where if you're in a situation where you're not approved of by your parents, you're stuck in a situation like you're stuck essentially in like a low confidence life experience where you're probably doing like some type of labor for sun shines out the window. You're probably doing some type of labor for like another like somebody else, like their business. um you're doing some type of service work. hospitality, caregiving, something like that. And even being in the strip club, um, because it's a way for your energy to be expended towards other people and not recirculated back through yourself. That makes it so that you're bound up in the system of spiritual slavery because you're reliant on that income. And the more you are like not specifically reliant on income that comes in the form of a um like a spiritual submission, then the more you're going to start to see like more layers of these curses and more specificities. I felt more comfortable in a strip club than the mall because I could say no. I've only done service work. I'm over it. A lot of people don't deserve my kindness. She said my mom wants me to be a state worker so bad. She thinks I'd be happier if I had a real job. Well, this is what someone was saying to me the other day. It was like, someone was telling them, like, why don't you just get a good job like me? And she was like, well, if I try to do that, she's like, I tried, but my boss always tries to fuck me, and then I don't have a job anymore. And that's the difference between being like sexually, spiritually, creatively gifted versus being just a regular person or a person who is those things but has shut their light down. Is that like, yeah, they can get away with it, but you can't because people are always trying to get a piece of that light, and it makes it really uncomfortable. And so for me, it has been very much more comfortable for me to develop my own business from home as opposed to trying to put myself in a situation where I knew that everybody would be trying to fuck me. My mom keeps trying to get me to do all these government jobs too. She even tried to get me to turn myself in for hoeing. Yeah, don't do it, you guys. A lot of my queer friends and myself all have Virgo mothers. A lot of them are no contact with their mothers. Yeah. Um, Honestly, yeah, it's so deep. It goes so deep and it frustrates me so much. But if you are someone who's a sex worker, you probably have parents that sexually exploited you in some type of way or emotionally or spiritually exploited you in some type of way. You likely have experiences like a lot of the people that come to me, you have experiences of some type of mental abuse, hypnosis, ritual abuse, or something like that. Like I've heard so many different stories. It's really hard. I've experienced things myself, so I know that it's real. And I'm like halfway falling asleep. So I'm not going to be on here much longer. Like, honestly, what's really happening more than anything is like an energy recalibration. I know a lot of you guys have been doing energy work around this too. But we're just essentially breaking free from the curse of spiritual slavery, which has used our bodies to transmute energies that have nothing to do with us. And so the more that we disconnect from that, like we talk about this in my course. It has to do with the Kabbalah tree of life, like the different energy centers in your body is how these are entry points for how these entities take control and they take your sovereignty away. They engage in a form of enslavement where that enslaves your energy body. So if you've ever experienced this, it's because like you have gifts. You're gifted in some type of way. For you to even have ever experienced this, that's what it's telling me. So we work on it together, we work on it individually, and we essentially just don't allow our energy bodies to be hijacked. We stay aware, we maintain presence, we let energy flow through us, and we don't shame ourselves for what we're experiencing. So we're gonna keep going because we're gonna dive deeper into how sex work plays into all of this tomorrow. Um, so tune in, you guys. I think this is gonna be a really fruitful conversation. I would love to hear more about what you think. Make sure you hit that like button and leave a comment. Thanks for showing up. We'll talk more about this soon, and we'll talk tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see y'all there. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, say mashallah, tell a friend to tell a friend, and stay tuned. Peace, healers. Masalame. Love you.